So you have learned about constructors. You know that constructors are called when we create an instance of a class. Now let's see how constructors behave when we use inheritance. So here in our UI control class, I want to add a constructor. From the code menu on the top, look at the shortcut for the generate command. On Mac, it's Command and N. So let's press Command and N and generate a constructor. Now by default, this field is selected and it will be added as a parameter. We don't want that. So let's select None. Here we have a default constructor that doesn't have any parameters. Now in this constructor, we want to print a message like UI control. Now we want to do the same with our text box class. So over here, after our private field, we generate a constructor. This is a convention that a lot of Java developers follow. First, we add our fields, then we add our constructors, and finally, we add all the public methods. So let's generate a constructor without any parameters. All right. Now here we want to print text box. Now back to our main class. Here we're creating a new text box object. Let's see what happens when we run this program. So as you can see, first the constructor of our base class is called, and then the constructor of the subclass. Now, what if the constructor of our base class has a parameter? So back to the UI control class, let's introduce a parameter, a Boolean, is enabled. Now we can use this to initialize our field. So this that is enabled, we set it to the value of this argument. Now, back to the text box class. We have a compilation error. There is no default constructor available in UI control. So because we don't have a default constructor without any parameters in UI control, the constructor of the text box doesn't know what value to pass to this constructor. So here we need to explicitly call this constructor. Let me show you how to do that. So back in the text box, here we use the super keyword followed by parentheses to call the constructor of the base class. Now here we need to pass a Boolean value, true or false, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that this statement should be the very first statement inside this constructor. So if I move this over here, once again, we get a compilation error. So let's move it back. All right, this is all about constructors and inheritance. Next, we're going to look at access modifiers.